Roger Waters, formerly of Pink Floyd, one of the primary writers of Pink Floyd, has decided to do an entire re-recording of Dark Side of the Moon. Very curious. It's been no secret that Roger Waters and David Gilmour, kind of the head of Pink Floyd as we speak, have been in a massive feud for decades. Part of the reason why they split up is because there were a lot of issues between the two, way too many to talk about right now, and those did not stop once Roger left. For those who have been living under a rock forever, Dark Side of the Moon is one of the most influential albums ever of all time. Specifically for me, coming from a producer-engineer perspective, it is one of the most important albums to pushing forward production and imagining what an album can actually be, especially as far as sound design. Roger Waters was exceedingly important to the vision of that album, so him re-recording it isn't the craziest thing in the world, but it is also kind of the craziest thing in the world. Like, this is one of the most iconic albums ever, and you're gonna try and do it again? What? Why? Quoting some of his quotes from an interview with The Telegraph, Roger Waters says he's re-recording The Dark Side of the Moon without Pink Floyd, and it seems as though probably without their permission. I'm not sure if he even has that. It's all a little ambiguous right now. Roger Waters is re-recording the album, quote, because not enough people recognized what it's about, what it was I was trying to say then. End quote. When contemplating Dark Side, Waters seemed dismissive of his former bandmates, whom he called faux Floyd. I wrote The Dark Side of the Moon. Let's get rid of all this weak crap, he told The Telegraph. Of course we were a band. There were 4 of us. We all contributed. But it's my project and I wrote it, so blah. I'm assuming that last part, my project and I wrote it, is kind of a little bit more of a playful thing, but also he's kind of like, fuck you guys. So the first quote about him saying, well, you know, people didn't understand exactly what I was trying to say, kind of sounds like a long line of bullshit to me. Another famous artist you may have heard of called Taylor Swift is re-recording a shitload of her old songs in order to get rights to those masters again because her old label wouldn't give it up. And as far as we know, there's nothing stopping her from re-recording those masters, so I have a funny feeling Roger Waters is probably doing something similar in the sense that he wants to not have to split this crap anymore. He probably wants to not deal with the members of Pink Floyd anymore, if I had to guess. That's probably something driving this, but I don't 100% know. And as we're about to listen to, it seems like it's definitely a shitload of his ego driving him this way. So let's hop into the song and take a listen to that. But before we do, I just want to say, doing these kinds of reaction videos and doing these remixing videos that you guys love, I love doing them, but I've been getting a shitload of copyright claims and revenue is drying up. It sucks, and I would absolutely love your guys' support. If you want to support me on Subscribestar, the link to that is in the description, or if you want to become a member of the channel, that would be awesome too, or just sending a tip to PayPal. BecomeTheNight@gmail.com means the world to me. Also, if you're interested in me mixing any of your tracks, go ahead, send me an email, BecomeTheNight@gmail.com. I greatly appreciate you guys for even watching, means the world, but I can't keep doing this at the pace I'm doing it if I can't get paid for it. That's all there is to it. All right, let's hop into the video. One thing I will say, I'm gonna try and keep the clips as short as possible to minimize the risk of getting a copyright claim. No promises here. I hope you have already listened to the song for yourself. God bless you. You'll see why here in a second. Immediately, first thing I notice, the tempo has been dragged way back, way back. There's no money sounds, which I miss a lot. I really, really liked the money sounds that introduced this song and kind of gives it a heady, non-musical picture of what's happening. I think that was really cool. And the instrumentation has changed a little bit. Everything is just much milder and a little bit more subdued. But this is just the first 3 seconds. Let's see what else we have. All right. Money. We have cellos. If there's one thing I will say that I love that this track does is how it uses the cellos in this song. Like right there's the little slurs that I think were very intentional where the pitch started and ended. That was just briefly brought in for a moment, almost like a riser, in order to prepare the audience for lyric, you know, like really smart arranging on that front. Also, what the fuck is this voice?
Get a good job with more pay and you're okay.
Nah, you know what? I'm not okay. Not okay with this, Raj. No amount of money that you could pay me will make me say that I enjoy this. What the fuck is this, Raj? Some people in the comments are making comparisons to Leonard Cohen, like a Leonard Cohen tribute band covering Pink Floyd. Weird. It's really funny. I think it was a year or so ago, I reviewed a song by Jordan Peterson that it was very clear he likes Roger Waters quite a bit, and Jordan Peterson was doing these weird vocalizations. This right here. So Jordan Peterson made a song imitating Roger Waters. Now Roger Waters is imitating Jordan Peterson. Have we come in the full circle of cringe? Some people have coined the term cope spiral. Have we now entered the world of cringe spiral? Are we in an ever enveloping cringe cyclone that sucks us downward and won't let us escape?
Money. It's a gas.
Okay, yeah. So, spoiler alert. This is how the entire song sounds. You know how I can minimize my risk of having a copyright claim? By not having to play much more of this at all. The whole song is this. Very, very subdued instruments playing essentially what the parts were of the old song. Way slower, way less interesting. Well, Roger Waters has the shittiest poetry slam of a lifetime. What the fuck is this, dude? And just to get to the point, let's skip to where the solos should be. If David Gilmour isn't on this, what's gonna happen to the guitar solos? Here's what's happening when the guitar solos are happening. Let's listen.
His retinue, of course. Seconds, thirds, and fourths.
All right, pausing it there just in case of a copyright claim. But yeah, it's just more fucking poetry slam. You replaced one of the most iconic guitar solos and guitar performances of all time with a fucking poetry slam. Look, for the sake of time, I'm not going to look around and find any of the cello performances, but there are some great cello moments in this song that I want to acknowledge. Hands down, the best arranging thus far. But this song is such a fucking slog now. I feel like the original track and instrumentation really supplemented the hip, fun, enticing vibe of Money, the lure of Money. And this now just becomes completely fucking meaningless to what the song is about. Other than, oh, it's broadly dark. Oh, congratulations, Roger. Broadly dark. There is nothing sexy about this. There's nothing fun or enticing about this. This feels old. This feels useless. This feels self-indulgent. What the fuck is this, man? Like I left in my comment here, like, I get it, but it makes me ask myself who this was actually made for. And I know who it was made for. It wasn't the audience. It wasn't because people don't understand what I was talking about at the time. No. Fuck you. You very clearly made this for you, Roger. If you had any fucking self-awareness in your brain, you would realize no one gives a shit about this. I need to make sure people understand what I'm saying in my songs. Oh, okay. So, first things first, don't distract them by making something that will not let them pay attention to the lyrics. You could argue everything's stripped way back so that the lyrics are right up front. Congratulations. That's why people loved the music in the first place, Raj. I listen to music because I'm a fan of poetry. Said fucking no one. It is so jarring to effectively ruin the music of the song, part of the beauty and awesome grandeur of what made this thing so down-to-earth, relatable, and magical, completely disposed of. But you're trying to do this in service of the lyrics being more upfront, but no one's gonna fucking pay attention to it because they're too busy being like, what the fuck did you ruin this song for, asshole? So that says to me, you didn't make it so people can understand your fucking songs better. You made it for you. I've talked about before a dichotomy between artists and clout chasers in entertainment, but specifically the music industry. The clout chasers are the people that have zero interest in trying to do anything of substance. They just want more hierarchical advancement. They want more money. They want more fame. The artist is so self-obsessed that it doesn't matter what the audience wants. They just want to feel self-gratified. They want people to masturbate to them while they're masturbating to themselves. You're on the toxic side of artistry, my friend. Very much so with this one. I don't think you gave a single fuck about the audience, and if you did, I think you are so incredibly out of touch that I don't think you have a genuine understanding of trying to give to people so much as you have a genuine understanding of masturbating to your feelings and getting off to how righteous and correct you are. That's one of several reasons why I've always felt there's a preachy side to Pink Floyd that I never really got down with, but this just amplifies it to 1,000 in my eyes. I know a bunch of people are gonna say I'm overthinking it. Go fuck yourselves. If you're gonna sit here and say, I don't like it as much as the original, the reason why I am getting angry is because I've identified why it's not as good as the original. Hands down. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this fucking pile of shit. Look, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it seems just like a massive fucking ego play. And we need that shit the fuck out of music. Gone. That'll do it for me. I love you guys very much. You can support me on Subscribestar, become a member of the channel. You can also email me if you want me to mix your stuff. BecomeTheNight@gmail.com. Love you. Goodbye.